Hello and you're welcome for today's video. I will be reading dating horror stories from the Ask Singapore subreddit. I mean, the title says it all. It's Singapore. Imagine dating there. Anyways, here we go. The girl was extremely insistent on finding out how much I make. This was first date, mind you. I was very uncomfortable throughout but finally caved in towards the end of dinner. When she found out I made more than 3 times of what she made, she became much more flirty and friendly. There was a second date but parted ways after that. I mean, in this economy, can you really blame her? The other day, I was at the market and I saw $8 for 1 capsicum. 1 capsicum! I was like, walao. Maybe I also should get a timpapa, you know what I mean? OP, you should be flattered actually, because not only are you handsome enough to attract this young lady, you are also obviously financially a wise choice. In the Chinese world, you are considered a sek yu, okay? And to the girl, you are a hustler. Keep up the good work, soldier. Okay, so this is a very long story, but it's a very good story. I'm going to paraphrase. If you want to read the whole thing, just pause the video, okay? So what happened is, he asked this girl out to an open-air food court, okay? Also known as a tai pai tong, okay? And she said, okay, but not okay, just okay. You know what I mean? But he didn't get the message. Then he took her there during peak dinner hour, okay? So this is set in Singapore, don't forget, okay? So that means it's hot, it's sticky, it's loud, tragic. And on top of that, he did not make a booking beforehand. So they had to walk around like headless chicken to look for a place to sit. And they were both sweaty and hungry and the children were screaming everywhere. You get it. Then as they were eating, finally a bug flew into the soup that they were sharing. Disaster, okay? And then when it's all over, the girl asked him if he wanted to see a movie, but he politely declined because he felt so ashamed and so embarrassed. And this is where I say, hey, don't go. She still like you, lah. What are you doing? OP, do you really think that after all that, if she really feel like the date bongam, she will ask you out some more? No, of course not. And yet she did. She asked you out and then you rejected her. Aiyo, what is this? You should have said, yes, let me make up for this terrible date with you at the movies. Boom! Got him! My friend, she was giving you a free pass to redeem yourself and you didn't take it. What is this? This is why you're still single, you know. Not because you took her to the wrong place, but because you can't take a hint. And also, low self-confidence. Please lah, come on. You know, guys, us ladies can only help you out so much, you know. You must also meet us in the middle, right? I once went on a date when my date literally got cancer. This was a date in uni. We were just hanging out in school, walking about and chilling when suddenly she got a message asking her to go to the university clinic. When we went, the nurse told her that she got cancer. So I spent the rest of the date basically consoling. Okay, wait. Okay, this is a very sad story. But wait, hear me out, okay? Imagine if she actually don't like him. And then she pakat with the nurse, who is actually her best friend, to tell this sob story so that she doesn't have to reject him and he doesn't get hurt and she never have to see him again. You know? It's actually very smart. Like some kind of Hannah Montana plot, huh? But of course, if it's true, then it's very sad and I hope this girl is okay. Next story. She brought her mum along, ended up chatting and vibing more with her mum instead. Ha! This is true. If that was between me and my daughter, of course I am the more interesting one. Us mums have amazing stories to tell, okay? You want embarrassing story, sad story, angry story, poo-poo story, disgusting story, childhood story, mat story, I also got it, okay? Because, you know, it's not my daughter's fault that she is boring. She's just young. And younger than me. You only get more interesting with age. Remember that. Some years back, I met someone local in Scout. Went out with her on a platonic basis. She looked fatter in person, but other than that, quite well behaved. Sorry, is her name Fido? Spot? Buddy? When you call her, do you... Oh no. Okay, so then why you sound like talking about a dog? I read this whole story. It was actually quite interesting, but that one line was so completely unnecessary to the story, and also what a weird thing to say about a human being. I think maybe you need to reconsider this line, okay? That is all, thank you. Okay, this is a good story. This was at Serangoon Gardens. Had a long day at work and met up for a first date. I wanted to be comfortable at an air-conditioned place, but the guy insisted on going to a kopitiam. Nino, 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 cheapskate alert, cheapskate alert. Cheapskate alert! Fine. Went to sit down at a table, wanted to order drinks, and the first words out of his mouth were, "Wow, you look like you need to lose weight." Whoa! Hey, this guy, the only person who can talk to her like that is her mom, okay? I was a US size 8 at the time, not even that overweight, plus I never had a lack of suitors. I gave him a chance cause he bugged me for 2 weeks constantly to meet up. Note this guy is rather scrawny and had a bad complexion too. I don't judge a guy's build normally, but please look at yourself before judging other, okay lah. So that means this guy is nagging her lah, obviously, right? You know this guy, I just know before the date he went to see all of his stupid guy friends and was like, you know, I really like this girl, I don't know what to do, you know, I want to stay with her a long time, blah blah blah. And then his guy friends, stupid as they are like, oh, you know what you should do? You should insult her. You should give her a compliment sandwich so that she will be put down and then she will become insecure and then she will fall madly in love with you. You know, there are some guys who actually think this is a good idea, you know, which is just a special breed of men, I think, in this world that really need a reality check. This guy is one of Andrew Tate's descendants lah. Rude and ugly, just like him. I was pretty calm and said, okay, took my bag and left. He was running after me down the streets. I ignored him and flagged down a cab to go home. Went to grab some chaipang for dinner and was happy eating it at home. He bombed my phone and I blocked him. Yes! Good! Manya bagus! What kind of nonsense, ugly ass this guy is. But I am so happy you left, girl. And let this story be a lesson to all of you. If someone is rude to you, they say things you don't like, just leave. What for you want to stay and entertain this type of nonsense in your life? Especially all you ladies out there, okay, you young girls. Do not let a boy tell you these horrible things, okay? If anyone is going to say that you are ugly, you are a prostitute, you are cheap, you belong to the streets, it's your mom. Only your mom can say that to you. You know why? Because we come from a place of love. This guy come from a place of God knows where, with bad complexion and scrawny. You don't let this guy talk to you like that, okay? Okay, and that is all the horrible date stories I can handle for one day. Thank you, and stay safe in these streets. This is the story that I paraphrased just now, but I'm going to read it out now word for word, okay? Upon further reflection, I realized I was the horror in this story. I asked a girl out for dinner. Blunder number 1. Our first date was at an open-air food court. There was a famous store I wanted to try, and it was central from where both of us live. Replying to my enthusiastic recommendations, she told me that she didn't mind. I didn't understand at that time. It was not the same as, I'm down for it. Thus, I missed the first hint of discomfort, and to this store we went. Blunder number 2 was that I chose to go at the height of dinner time. Homebound salarymen and housewives formed snaking queues at this famous store. We shuffled under the heavy steams and mixed smell of food and sweat. Over the noise of walks and hollering Zita clerks, we tried to make small talk with little success. Her voice was soft and I often cupped my ears. We soon gave up altogether. I began to regret coming here. As we stood in the queue, the uncle behind us looked my date up and down like a vacuum cleaner. Interesting choice of words. If someone as oblivious as me noticed, surely had she noticed too, much earlier and much more to her mounting discomfort. Blunder number 3 is something I want to throw myself down the refuse chute for. When we got our food, we looked around and realized all the tables were full. It did not occur to me that I should have reserved a table and have either of us occupy the seat. We meandered around like tourists trying to find one amidst the growing crowd. After much to and fro, we settled for a 2-seater right beside the pizza counter. By then, we were sweaty and hungry. The heat and children crying from tables beside us were almost unbearable. We ate in silence mostly. Flying bugs which come out at night buzzed around the fluorescent tube overhead. I was about to make small talk to lighten the mood when one fell into the bowl of soup we shared. Her expression upon seeing the drowning thing squirming on the surface is one of which I will never forget. After the meal, she suggested we go to the cinemas. The night was still young and I had no curfews. But I was so disgraced and ashamed of myself that I politely declined. Surely every further moment she spent with me would be debt upon deficit on her budget of happiness. What do you think of the story? I know what I think, but what do you think?